problems. I think that anxiety problems can benefit by a consultation with a veterinarian, especially in more severe anxiety, and I'll actually talk a little bit more about that later. So anxiety is definitely an area that I think a qualified veterinarian who's interested in behavior. Then I feel that and you know what I just realized I forgot to put on here is, I feel one of the most important roles of a veterinarian is to keep public safe that public safety is one of our key roles. Teaching people about how to avoid dog bites, how to keep their children safe. No dog is ever completely safe. Any dog can bite. So I think public safety is kind of the top one I should have put up there. But ruling out medical causes, you can do all the behavior modification in the world, and if it's a medical problem, it's not going to help. So, and then a veterinarian who is has a special interest in behavior can help establish a diagnosis. It's not just aggression. That's not really a diagnosis. It's aggression due to whether it's generalized anxiety or fear-based aggression towards unfamiliar people, or there are. It's not just the dog's dominant and needs to be shown his place. That's not really a diagnosis. So appropriate diagnosis leads to appropriate treatment. And in some cases, the treatment may include psychopharmacology, the prescription of drugs that help modify behavior, non-pharmaceuticals. One of my favorites, which I somehow managed to not put in this presentation at all, is Composure. Can you raise your hand if you've heard of Composure? Just so I can check. Composure is a treat. It's a supplement. It's non-prescription. It's L-theanine.
I have a technician call on line 1. Could I have a technician to line 1?
And yeah, and there's also Angstine, which I don't personally have experience with, but Angstine I believe is also L-theanine. It may be a slightly different dose. And basically, I've had a tremendous success with it, although part of the reason for my success is I tell people to triple the dose. It's very safe. It's very safe. And in fact, the manufacturers have told me, tell people to triple the dose. Because Composure is good for dogs with anxiety, kind of that either predictable anxiety, like, oh, we're going to have family over this weekend, or going on a car trip and he hates car rides. That kind of, or there's going to be a storm and he doesn't like storms. Those kinds of things. I think Composure is helpful. But yeah, I always triple the dose. And the best way I can describe it is it doesn't sedate them. It just helps them feel really chilled out.
I read an article that in California they've been using medical marijuana and it's more effective than Prozac.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
In
California.
Oh wow!
Dogs. Bring it on.
Well, okay, so in the interest of full disclosure, they actually make Composure for humans as well. Like the people who made Composure for dogs are like, this is a great product. Let's just make it for people too. And it's their little, they're just little chewable tablets. And so I have taken some of that, and I'm, probably sharing more about me than you really wanted to know. I'm not really a high anxiety person anyway, so I rarely feel really tense, but there are days, we all have days, and you're just like, oh my God, what happened to today? This is just horrible. And yeah, I've taken some of that, and it just, the best way I can describe it, you just feel okay with things. So anyway,
What was the name of the other one, Composure, or what was
the other one is Angstine.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, Anxitane.
I think I've heard of that one.
But you haven't tried that.
I haven't tried that. Where do you get these?